This is Module 1, the mid-module review. Okay, so the first thing it says in the directions is to rewrite each number in standard form. So we have to make sure as we're solving them they are in standard form, and then we must make sure we stack them before we compare. So we have these two numbers right here. They're both in standard form, so I can just stack them. When I stack them, I line up the decimals to make it easier to compare. So I notice when I have this that there's two empty spaces here. And when I have an empty space, I fill it with zeros. So I look at these two numbers and I notice that this one is larger. So I put the is greater than symbol in the middle. So now I'm going to look right here. This is not standard form, so I must write it in standard form first. So it's going out to the thousandths here. So we're going to draw lines, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. I see I have a 5 in the hundredths place and a 3 in the thousandths place. And then I need to fill in the empty space with a 0. I come to the side and I'm going to stack them. And when I stack them, I see right away that this number is larger, so I put the is less than symbol in there. So next, we have another one that's not in standard form, so we must put it in standard form. So we see right here that this is tens, not tenths. So tens are out here. There's ones and there's tens, and then we have a decimal. And it goes all the way out to the thousandths place. So we have tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and now we fill them in. So we see we have 3 tens. This is the tens place. We have 4 tenths, which is here, and we have 2 thousandths, which is all the way out here. All these empty spaces that don't have anything in them should be zeros. So now I have to go out here and I need to stack so that I can compare. When I stack, I notice I have an empty space right there, and that empty space gets filled with a 0 to help me compare the two of them. And when I compare them, I see these columns are the same, the same, the same. Now it's different, so this one is larger. So now I'm going to look at these next three. Once again, we're not in standard form. We need to make it standard form. We're going to the tenths. Here's the tenths. We have to finish in the tenths. We can't go past it. So the last digit there is a 5. So the 5 ends in the tenths and the 3 goes there. So now I come on the side and I stack them. And I see that this one is larger. So now we're going to go back to that expanded form that we worked with for a while. This right here, 10 to the third power, is 10. It's like 1,000. It means the same thing. So we have the thousands place, the hundreds place, the tens, the ones, and we end in the tenths. So we're going to fill in some numbers. We have a 3, a 4, and the 5 is in the tenths place. Everything else gets zeros. So we're going to come over here. We see this is 10 to the second. 10 to the second means that it's 100 because the second, there's a 2, there's 2 zeros. So we see once again we're out in the thousands place. And we end in the tenths place. So we put that 5 into the tenths place. The 4 is in the hundreds place. And the 3 is in the thousands place. And we fill in the numbers of 0 when we have empty spaces. So even though I can see the answer, the directions still told me to stack, so I need to do that. And when I look at these two, I see that they are identical, so they are equal to each other. So now we're going to look out here. We have the tenths and the thousandths. So we have tenths, hundredths, thousandths. In the tenths place, we have a 6. In the thousandths place, we have a 7. And we fill the other one in with a 0. And now we go on the side and we stack them. And when I stack them, I see that they have the same digit here, but a different one in this column. So this is the larger number. So now I wrote them in standard form like the direction says. I stacked every single one, and then I compared them. So for this question, when we multiply, we know we go to the right. So I'm going to rewrite my number. And we're going to the right 3 times because there's a 3 exponent. So we jump 1, 2, 3. Our new decimal is here, not here. We get rid of it, and we rewrite our answer as 9,990. Next, we're going to solve this one. Once again, we're multiplying, so when we multiply, we go to the right. So we're going to rewrite. Sorry, I apologize, that was a little messy. So we're going to fix that up. We're going to rewrite that number. And it says to the right 2 times, so we're going to jump 2 times. Our new decimal is here. It is no longer here, so our answer becomes 8,431. The next one, we have a division problem. Since we're dividing, we go left. We're going left 3 times because there's a 3 in the exponent. So I rewrite my problem, and I look here. There is no decimal, so I have to ask myself, where is the decimal when there's no decimal? It's at the end. So I'm jumping left 3 times. 1, 2, 3. It ends up here. There's no more comma. We get rid of that. And I write my new answer like this. I can leave it like that. If I want, I can drop the zeros off. Once again, we're dividing 2 jumps. So we're going to write this down. We're going to jump 2 spots. We end up here instead of here. And we have our new answer. So we've done the first 2 topics, which is comparing and ordering, and then we did multiplying and dividing by powers, 10 to the third, 10 to the second. So now we're going to move on to rounding, which was another topic that we did. So when we round, we had talked about that we underline the place value we're rounding to. So we're rounding to the 10th. I underline the digit in the 10th place. I box the number to the right. As my reminder up here, I'm going to write these digits up here so that I remember what's weak and what's strong. I split it right down the middle. These are weak, these are strong. So I boxed a 6, which I know is strong. The 6 then tells me to bump up the 3 to a 4. Everything to the left stays the same. Everything to the right gets dropped. And there is my answer. Next, we're rounding to the 10th again. So here's the 10ths again. We're going to box the number to the right. The 5 tells me to bump the 4 up because it's a strong number. So I bump it to a 5. Everything to the left stays the same. Everything to the right gets dropped off. Now we're going to round to the 100th. The 100th place is right here. Box the number to the right. The 3 is now a weak number. It doesn't do anything to that 6, so the 6 stays. Everything to the left stays the same. Everything to the right gets dropped off. Next, we're rounding to the nearest whole number. When we see whole number, it's really rounding to the nearest ones place. Here's the ones place. We box the number to the right. The 3 is a weak number, so it does nothing to the 3. The 3 stays the same. And we drop everything to the right. So now we're going to the whole number again, which is the ones we had said. And this is the ones place. And we look over here. The 4 does nothing to that 1. It stays the same. Everything to the left stays the same. Everything to the right gets dropped off. Next, we're rounding to the nearest thousand. Not thousandths, thousand. That's right here. We box the number to the right. The 1 does nothing to the 5. Everything to the left stays the same. This is where it gets tricky. These numbers are on the whole number side, so they also turn to zeros. Those digits turn to zeros, but everything after the decimal gets dropped. Once again, in the whole number side, these all become zeros. So we had 1, 2, 3 zeros. Everything after the decimal got dropped. So now we have this as our final answer. Next, we have our rainfall in the cities, different cities in New Jersey. And it says to put the rainfalls in order from least to greatest. It's important we pay attention to that. And to make sure to stack first. And then we have to put the inequality symbols in. So I'm going to stack them just so they're lined up and I can look at them easier. So now they're stacked. Any empty space gets zeros. So we want to put them the rainfall measurements, the actual measurements, in order from least to greatest. So I look down. These two have 0, so they're smaller. So I have to go to the next number. They both have an 8. Then this has a 6, this has a 3. So this one is the smallest. So I'm going to write it. And it's the smallest, so it gets the is less than symbol. Now I go back up here again. The other one that has a 0 in the ones place is right here. So we're going to rewrite it. Is less than again. Now we look at these two. They have a 2. Then there's a 6 and a 3, so we know this one is smaller. So we're going to write that next. And is less than. And then we have our last number. And now we have put everything in order from least to greatest. We stacked and we put inequality symbols in. I check off that I did each step so I know I didn't miss anything. So we go to the next question. It says write Montvale's rainfall in word form and expanded form. So Montvale is up here. And this right here says 86 hundredths. So I'm going to write it as 86 hundredths. Next, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to put it into expanded form. And I'm going to do 8 times 1/10 plus 6 times 1/100, because that's 86 hundredths. Some people prefer to use decimals, so it's 8 times 1/10 plus 6 times 1/100. Last question, it says, imagine Hoboken's rainfall is the same every year. What will happen in 100 years? We're going to go up to Hoboken. Here's Hoboken. I'm going to write that number. That's for 1 year. For 100 years, it's like multiplying. We know when we multiply, we jump right 2 spots. So 1, 2. So my final answer would be 237 and 9/10. And I'm going to go back up for a minute. And we notice that it's meters that we're talking about. So we would come down here and label it with meters.